Can we play Bristol City every single week with a chance from the crowd blowing away Bristol? Colby Bishop. We're also talking about set pieces this week as well. And we're also asking who are the best fans who have visited Fratton Park this year. Certainly wasn't Bristol City fans. Welcome to where Pompey walk. It's going to be a good one. Oh, yes, it feels a lot better, doesn't it? 3 points in the bag. And, Jake, there isn't that gap anymore in the bottom three. You are well in the pack. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I think a few weeks ago, quite a few people were actually just writing us off. They were saying Pompey are gone and it's going to be two others. So now we picked up a couple of wins and other teams are starting to panic a little bit. So it's a good feeling.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Our Derby County fans have been ticking off the days till they can play you. Not anymore. This Friday night. We'll get to that fixture in a second. Sam, stupid question, but was that the best performance of the season?
Yeah, I think so. First half, we were all over them. And then once we popped in the second goal, it was over. Funny how it makes a difference without Machinio on the sidelines. Hey, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You went. I see. I wasn't going to go there. Let's have a look at some tweets. Okay, let's look at some tweets for we. I want you, Sam M. Let's get your view on all of this. There's quite a list here from Jack, who's obviously been on our show before. Bishop's the main man. Lang, agent of chaos. Murphy 3 goals and 3. Devlin keeps getting better. Defense well drilled. Schmidt looks a bargain. Potts the key to the midfield. Any disagreement with any of that list?
No, I think it'll be hard to disagree with any of it, to be fair. I think he's literally spot on with everything, especially Terry Devlin. He's just been getting better and better every time we see him play. And he's just dominated down the right-hand side. So, yeah, very pleased with this week.
Sasha, Phil says, this has been coming. It was so comfortable, it felt like we had gone back to last season. The goal scorers are all there today, but a strong team performance. As annoyed by Lang kicking the ball away and getting a yellow at the end, but hey, 3 points are all I wanted. Got so much more today. Sasha, had it been coming?
Yeah, I feel like we were due a win, especially with some of our more recent performances. I thought we've stepped up a gear in recent weeks. It felt like another win was coming. It should have against Swansea, but we threw that away, and I'm glad we did it in the fashion we did the other day.
Phil, welcome to the show. Really great to have you along board with us. Who stood out for you in terms of player performances?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I just lost the audio.
Yeah, that's okay. We're saying who stood out for you in terms of player performances?
Oh, I think Bishop probably. I think it would have to be between Bishop, Lang and Murphy. But I would have to say Colby Bishop. That link-up play, his goal, it's exactly what we've been missing. And I'm just so happy that he's back and, firing. And it's, I didn't think he would be back till, next year. And the fact that he's already scored a couple of goals, we've got an assist out of him. If he keeps going like that, that could basically make or break our season for sure.
Cheers, Phil. There was lots of tweets which echoed the same thing. Sam Wade says Colby looking even better in the Championship today than he did in League One. Arguably his best performance in a Pompey shirt. And Jake, I want your view on this one, if that's okay. DB Cooper says, we're miles stronger as a defensive unit with Colby in the team too. Obviously, we know what he gives you in terms of an attacking threat, but do you agree with that defensively you look stronger with him there too?
Yeah, I think so. I think they always say sort of like the first line of defence of your strikers, and the way he's been pressing is brilliant. He presses people, and then because he leads the press, it leads like Murphy, Lang, others come and support him. So defensively, we do look more solid, and we're winning the ball higher up on the pitch. But he's just a revelation. Yeah, the first tweet's spot on. I think he does look better now than what he did when he was in League One. I'm not sure what they did with that surgery, but he looks faster, he looks stronger. I don't know what's going on, but brilliant. Yeah, absolutely loving it.
Okay. Can we get a word on Murphy as well, Sam? Obviously, Liam Manning will know Murphy well, so it's probably nice for him to get one over on him. But he looks a well, he's looked a player this last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, within our Pompey in Canada group, we actually nominate and give out an award for Canada's Pompey in Canada's best player of the season, and Murphy is running the poll up on that one. He's there with Lang as the top player this season. So yeah, for sure, Murphy has definitely been on form these past couple of weeks.
Okay. I've got to ask this one, Sam, because we've already spoken to Bristol City and they said, look, we just had an off day. We weren't at it. Obviously, they had terrible travel for the fans to get there. Conditions were bad. But you did your homework on them because they always play out from the back. And your press is usually good, but he had you on that press and you actually got 2 of your 3 goals came from pressing them high up the pitch and winning the ball back.
Yeah, definitely. I think it could have been more as well with that Callum Lang opportunity. I was waiting for that to hit the back of the net, but yeah, I think it's obviously Moose done his homework, and I'm just really, really pleased with the efforts of the team, especially Murphy. Like, he's so good at getting that press in. So, and Bishop as well.
You've already mentioned him, Sasha, but Devlin as well got loads of praise, and there was people saying he could have been man of the match had it not been for obviously the goal scorers. Not a name we've talked about much on here. Why's that been, and why are we now talking about him?
I feel like because he wasn't really a consistent starter. He was one of those players where whenever he was called upon, he'll take his chance. He'd always put in a solid performance. He's not had a single stinker for us. Touch wood, that doesn't happen. But every opportunity he gets, he just seems to get better and better. And my only worry for him is him possibly leaving for a Premier League club or a high-end Championship club. Everything else that he's doing with us is brilliant.
Big games to come, though, Phil, then this week. We'll talk about Derby a little bit later on, but we're recording this before the Norwich game, who have just themselves had a bit of a stinker. When a team, puts in that bad performance against QPR, do you always then worry about a bit of a backlash?
Yeah, I must admit, I didn't expect QPR to turn them over. I thought it was typical just as before we were away to play them, of course. But you know what? We just got to, if the team can put in a performance like they did yesterday, then we take care of ourselves.
Okay. Cheers for that, Phil. Let's talk about Derby County then, shall we, Jake? Obviously, you know them well from last season. Of all the teams, they're the ones that are highest in the table. But as we've said before, performances. You guys have been putting it in more than they have, and they're the only ones at the moment crying for their manager out. What did you make of them last year? What have you made of them this year?
They were decent last year. We knew they were going to be decent. They've got a big following. They're a big club, and I wasn't surprised to see them come up with us. I think this year they started all right, but then all of a sudden their results are starting to reflect performances. Their performances have dropped off, but they seem to somehow scrape wins or scrape a couple of draws, and now it's not happening for them. So it's a good time for us to play them, I think, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to talk about set pieces in a minute, but before we do, Sam, it'll come of no surprise to you in terms of where you guys sit in terms of set pieces, given your shots on goal ratio. 4 set pieces, 3 penalties, of course. So you don't sit bottom, but would you like to have a guess which team sits at the top of this table?
Leeds, Sunderland. Oh no, Sunderland, they're right there.
No.
Sheffield United.
Obviously didn't do a good enough lead into it, did I? Derby County sit top.
Oh, okay.
You see what I was trying to do?
Yeah.
So, Sam, given that Derby are the set-piece specialists in this league, does that change the way that you go into Friday's game or not?
No, I don't think so. We got some big lads at the back that can handle themselves. Like Poole is pretty tall. And our goalkeeper is pretty decent at set pieces, so I don't think it scares us all that much or changes anything that we have to do on Friday.
Cheers. Sam M, is it a must-win on Friday?
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it was one of those ones you highlight as you want to win. Obviously, they came up with us. As you look at away games in the league, they're obviously all going to be tough, but that is the one you look at as a good opportunity. But we just want to keep building that off the wins we've got and just keep improving, really.
We're talking about set pieces, Sasha, this week, of course, because there's been so much chatter in the Premier League about set pieces and the importance of them. As a football fan yourself, what do you think we've gone a bit too far when we're now talking about set piece coaches and they're being highlighted? And I mean, Norwich in a minute we're going to want to sack their set piece coach. That's the main thing we're talking to them about. Is it too much? This? I mean, you've played football, I know, and surely it's a case of just whipping the ball in the box and getting your head on it.
Yeah, you think so. I mean, if there are any set piece coaches about, come to Pompey. I don't remember the last time we scored a free kick, but I do think everything in football's gone a bit over the top. There's all sorts of field tilt and all these other weird stats. I think set piece coaches are just another part of the game. The amount of goals that you can create and the amount of goals that you can concede from set pieces, you want to make sure there's some sort of focus in them areas. So it doesn't surprise me, really.
Okay. Phil, no offence here, but you and me are a little bit older than most of them here. So
no offence taken.
We'll remember when football's a lot simpler. How does an elder statesman of the game like yourself view when we're talking about set piece coaches?
I guess it's like anything else. It's just part of the development of the game, and I don't have a particular problem with it. I mean, at the end of the day, a goal's a goal. So whether it's a set piece or whatever, I don't care really. Personally, I just want to see us win. It could go off the back of Colby's backside for all I care. Just yeah. I'd like to say yeah. It's interesting to see Arsenal getting compared to Stoke, and I guess there's a snobbery, if you like, from scoring from free kicks or set pieces, whatever. But like I say, anybody looking back at a result, all they look at is the goals scored. So it doesn't matter how it comes.
Okay. At the end of the video, we're going to ask this whole team who's the best ever dead ball specialist that Pompey have ever seen. So get your comments below as to who that is. We'll get your views on that in a second. Before we do, there's some other news then to catch up on. The FA Cup draw was made. Jake, we were chatting with yourself and Sam last week about who you might want. I can't recall that you asked for Wickham away, but I might be wrong. What was your view on it?
Bit underwhelming. They're a good side, they're doing well, they're top of League One. But it would have been nice to get one of the big boys or Southampton, but we'll take Wickham. We'll see how we get on.
I love how you say the big boys or Southampton. It's never miss an opportunity to stick one in on. Sam, I mean, for fans who just want a nice away trip, I mean, you've been here before. They're flying high at the moment, but because they're flying high, they're not going to care at all about you, are they? They're probably going to put the second string out, I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like you said, Wickham is probably not the best place to visit. Yeah, I could see them focusing more on promotion than focusing on us in the FA Cup. So,
and finally, Sam, Wickham against Portsmouth. Is this more likely to be a Championship fixture next season or a League One fixture?
I'd say Championship. I'm being optimistic because I don't want us dropping to League One. So yeah, I think they're doing pretty well this year, and I think obviously after Saturday, I'm saying we'll stay up. So yeah, we'll go Championship.
Okay, all right. Yeah, there's a few, wasn't there, Southampton fans that put, well, this will be a League One fixture next season. As soon as that was drawn, and then missing opportunities. I'm also asking, because it's a season of goodwill, who are the best fans that you've seen at Fratton Park this season? Pompey have already been given a few from other fans in terms of noise and numbers that you bring. But Sasha, who for you have been the best in that away end?
If I could say no one, I probably would. But I'll probably say Sunderland had really good limbs when they scored. I'd probably say that. Or Millwall, as soon as our lights went off, they cheered a few times. Other than that, I'm going to say no one else, really.
Right, okay. It's uninspiring. Bill?
I'd probably say Sheffield Wednesday. I think I remember that game on the Friday night under the lights. Yeah, I remember a lot of noise from them. They're a good proper team. I like fans like that. They're good.
Okay.
make a lot of noise and travel well. So, yeah. I was going to say Sunderland as well, but I think that's only because they're doing well. I think we've all seen over the last, certainly when they're in League One, they're a strange fan base. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'll put that out there.
All right, nearly done. Let's look at some final tweets this week. Sasha, I love this one. We could psychoanalyze this if we wanted to, but you make life good, which is nice. And Matt Smith says we kept a clean sheet, and of course we haven't mentioned that. So before we go, we must mention the fact it's not just a win, but finally a clean sheet for Pompey as well. So Sasha, does it make life good?
I think my internet just dropped then. What was that? Sorry, everyone just froze for a second.
Right, we were taking the mick a little bit out of you. I hope you heard that bit, but we're saying clean sheets makes life good.
Of course, there's nothing to complain about with a clean sheet. As long as we score more than the other team, I'm happy.
All right, brilliant. Finally, then this week, the best dead ball specialist we asked you for. Drop them in the comments below. Sam M, can you think of one?
Obviously, I'm younger, so I wasn't really like there for the Barclays days, but I'd say recent times, Jack Sparks was unbelievable at swinging a corner, and I think that was a lot of like towards the success of the set pieces last season. Find Shocknessy or Raggett in the box. So yeah, I'll go Jack Sparks.
Okay, Jake, who's the one player that when they've stood over that ball for a free kick, you've just inched out your seat a little bit? The expectation.
There's been a few. I think we've had Matty Taylor, Kranjčar, Dejan Stefanovic, but I'm going to go old school and go Robert Prosinecki. He was unbelievable with set pieces. It helped that he had a young Peter Crouch in the middle for his deliveries, but yeah, even seeing him at Fratton Park was unbelievable. But he was great on set pieces as well.
Okay, Sam.
Yeah, Jake took mine. I was going to say Jake and Phil might remember Robert Prosinecki, and he was around when I was a young lad. So I'm going to have to go Robert Prosinecki. He could have a quick smoke and a cup of tea and then deliver a ball in. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sasha?
In my lifetime, it's not as exciting. I'd probably say Jack Sparks or maybe Gary Roberts.
And Phil, finish this off for us.
Yeah, I've got a soft spot for Matty Taylor, but I'm going to go for Nico Kranjčar. Just because a lot on my timeline recently, it was the anniversary of his free kick against Birmingham back in 2007, where he literally bangs it top bins from far on the left side, and he stands and claps himself. And it's like, what a way to score, and yeah, to have the balls to applaud yourself when you've scored a goal. That's pretty good. I like it.
Very good. I can't have Matty Taylor because I've told you my story. Matty Taylor gave me the worst moment of my footballing experience away at Fratton Park when he scored from the halfway line against Everton at a 12:30 kickoff in I think it was a late November game. And I never, ever forget that disappointing moment. I've never seen us win at Fratton Park. Hopefully someday. Right. Thank you, you five. Thank you, of course, for watching. If you haven't yet done so, drop us a subscribe. There's loads of great Pompey podcasts which you can listen to, and we're certainly going to be highlighting them, of course, as we go through the season as well. But if you can drop us a subscribe, we'd love making this content for you. Pompey are on the march. It's going to happen. No one is going down. And let me just say this: it's that these guys are the most positive set of fans that we speak to. We do all 24 clubs, and not once have any of them called out the manager, the players, or said this is not good enough. So credit to you. I'm going to go and speak to Derby County now, and that's a whole different picture. So thank you for being positive. Play at Pompey. See you